Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to let you in on a bit of a secret. You have actually been doing complex algebraic math in your head your entire life, and I bet you probably didn't even realize it. We're talking about the hidden architecture behind literally almost every bill you pay, every contract you sign, and every service you use. We're going to break down the everyday mechanics of fixed and variable costs to show you how these invisible forces are constantly shaping your financial decisions.
So, picture this. It's the end of the month, your data just ran out, and you're faced with a classic dilemma. Do you lock in and buy that R99 data bundle up front, or do you just pay for the megabytes exactly as you need them? Well, every single time you solve this puzzle, you are intuitively navigating the exact core mathematical concepts we're diving into today. You don't need a textbook to do it. Your brain just naturally weighs these options against each other to find the best value.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, Pure Variable Costs, or what we'll call the Grade 10 baseline.
We'll establish a baseline with something super simple. Basically, a pure variable cost is an amount that depends entirely on exactly how much of a product or service you actually use. You just pay a set rate per unit. Think of the highly relatable vet cook lady stationed outside the school gates. She charges exactly R15 per vet cook. No hidden fees, no exclusive membership clubs, zero deposits. It's just a pure, direct transaction. The beauty here? If you buy nothing, you pay absolutely nothing.
If you look closely at the numbers here, it's pretty straightforward. 1 vet cook, 15 Rand. 2, 30 Rand. 3 is 45, and it just keeps going. The cost increases proportionally in a perfectly straight line. And honestly, the most important takeaway here is that if we track that line all the way back to 0 vet cook, the cost is exactly 0 Rand. Nobody has ever been charged for a vet cook they didn't buy. Mathematicians call this direct proportion, and it's definitely the financial baseline we're all most comfortable with.
But of course, the real world is never quite that simple. Let's move to Section 2, Introducing Fixed Costs, aka the annoying twist.
So enter the fixed cost. This is an amount you pay no matter what happens. You're often paying this just for the privilege of access, long before you've used a single unit of the actual service. Think of a scenario where a business charges you just for showing up, like a plumber who charges a call-out fee. He wants you to pay just for the privilege of his van rolling into your driveway, before he's touched a single pipe or even unpacked a tool.
This perfectly illustrates that twist. Let's say a plumber charges a R150 call-out fee plus 80 Rand per hour. Notice how at exactly 0 hours of work, literally before he's done anything, the cost isn't 0. It's already R150. He arrived, and you are immediately on the hook for that fixed amount. Every hour after that adds R80, but you're constantly building on top of that initial R150 foundation.
When we put these two side by side, the fundamental difference is basically impossible to miss. The vet cook lady starts at a pure 0. The plumber, he starts at 150. Now both of these costs grow at a steady, straight line rate as you use more of the service. But the plumber's cost is lifted completely off the ground by that initial 150 Rand. In math class, they'd call that liftoff point a U-intercept. In real life, it's just the fixed cost sitting right there in plain sight, making sure you pay something before the clock even starts ticking.
Which brings us to Section 3, the formula for total cost, or the secret identity. When we take these two real-world concepts, the pure variable and that fixed liftoff point, and mash them together, we reveal a master formula. Total cost equals the fixed cost plus the rate multiplied by the number of units. Guys, this is the genetic code of almost every service agreement you will ever sign. Every single time you pay a complex bill, you are interacting with this exact equation, balancing what you pay just to have the service against what you pay for actually using it.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a second, isn't that just the y equals mx plus c formula from high school? You'd be perfectly correct. The m is your rate and the c is your fixed cost. But as our source material humorously points out, everyday financial literacy refuses to use those textbook letters because C has literally never once explained an electricity bill to anyone's mother. Letters on a chalkboard just don't help people understand their real-world expenses. But recognizing a fixed cost absolutely does.
And once you see it, you'll see it everywhere. Just look at these everyday examples. A gym charges a once-off joining fee before you ever step foot on a treadmill, plus a monthly rate. Satellite TV has an installation fee plus the subscription. A car wash might charge a basic R50 fixed wash fee plus R20 for every extra variable service, like a vacuum or tire shine. There's an undeniable pattern here. The fixed cost hits you once, while the variable cost shows up every single time you use the service.
Let's move on to Section 4, Budgeting Math, where we actually put this formula to work.
Understanding the theory is cool, but let's see how it helps us. Imagine you've got a strict budget of 1,250 Rand, saved up. You find a driving instructor, but they don't just charge a flat rate. They charge an R200 fixed registration fee up front, plus a variable rate of 150 Rand per lesson. So how do you figure out exactly what you can afford without going over budget?
Well, we just plug our real-world numbers into our master formula. Step 1. Our total budget of 1,250 equals the 200 fixed fee plus 150 times L for the number of lessons. Step 2, we absolutely have to strip away that fixed R200 registration fee right off the bat, because you're paying that no matter what. That leaves us with our 1,050 for the actual driving. Step 3, we take that remaining our 1,050 and divide it by the per lesson rate of our 150 to find out exactly how many hours we get behind the wheel.
And boom, the math works out perfectly to exactly 7 lessons. By understanding that you had to isolate and subtract that fixed cost first, you were able to accurately project your purchasing power, with 0 Rand left over. It's a simple, elegant way to prevent yourself from accidentally committing to an 8th lesson you simply can't pay for.
Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 5. Are fixed costs always worse? Let's give it the value test.
A lot of people instantly assume that contracts with fixed costs are always a ripoff because you're paying before you even start. But actually, scratch that. Value depends entirely on volume. Whether a fixed cost is a bad deal is completely relative to how much you use the service. Think back to our plumber. His R150 call-out fee feels awful if he's only doing a 5-minute job. But if he's working at your house for 4 straight hours, a purely variable per-hour charge with no fixed fee could easily be set at a way higher hourly rate, meaning you'd end up paying significantly more overall. A fixed cost is only a bad deal at low usage. It can actually protect you and offer fantastic value at high usage.
So, I'll leave you with this to chew on next time you're out and about. When you sign a cell phone contract, join a gym, or hire any professional, ask yourself, where is the liftoff point hiding in this bill? Exactly how much are you paying for the mere privilege of access before the real work even begins? Because once you start seeing the hidden fixed costs lifting up your everyday expenses, I promise you, you will never look at a price tag the same way again. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and stay curious.